Hi everybody, and welcome back to another knitting tutorial. In this tutorial I'm going to show you how to make the ideal cast on in order to knit ribbed stitches. We use double yarn. Now, in order to calculate the length of yarn we suppose we need this length of the yarn. We take 3 times the yarn, we fold it in 3 times, then we unfold the yarn, and we fold it into the part fold on the left side and the part with the working yarn from the right side. Now, in order to cast on for ribbed stitches, we use the thumb and the index. With this technique, with this casting on technique, we create couple of stitches. So we use the thumb and the index fingers, and in order to make the first loop of the couple, we use the thumb, and for the second, the index. Now we take the yarn this way, the folded part on the left hand, and the long part, the working yarn, from the right side. Now, in order to make the first loop, we hold the yarn this way, and then by using the thumb finger we pass the thumb under the yarn this way, then we insert a needle this way, we pass the yarn around the needle, that is yarn over, and then we pass this loop through the loop we have created with our hands. And this is the first loop. For the second loop, now in order to make the second loop, we always hold the yarn this way, we pass the index under the yarn this way, and we place the thumb over the yarn. We insert the needle, and we close the index this way, so we create another loop right here. Then we take the long part of the yarn, we bring it around the needle, that is, make a yarn over, and then we pass this yarn over through the loop we have created with our fingers, and we pull to tighten. And this is the first couple of loops. Again, we hold the yarn this way, we pass the thumb under the yarn this way, we insert the needle this way, and then we take the long part of the yarn and we pass it around the needle, that is yarn over, and then pass this yarn over through the loop we have created with our fingers. And we're going to pull again, so we can tighten the loop, not very much, but we have to tighten it. The second loop, we always keep the yarn this way here, and now we pass the index under the yarn this way. We place our thumb over the yarn, we insert the needle, and we close here. As you can see here, we close the index finger. So next step is to take the long part of the yarn over, and pass this yarn over through the loop we have created with our fingers, and we're pulling here in order to tighten. Again, we take the double part of the yarn, we hold it this way with the fingers, and then, as is the first loop, we're going to pass the thumb under the yarn this way, and then insert the needle this way, yarn over, and pass the yarn through the loop we have created with our fingers, and pull up a little bit just to tighten. Now we're going to make the second loop, so we hold the yarn here, the fingers, and then, as is the second loop, we're going to use the index, so we pass the index finger like this under the yarn, and place the thumb over the yarn, insert the needle, and close the index. As you can see, we have created a loop. Now we are going to yarn over and pass this yarn over through the loop we have created with our fingers. This is the double casting on, ideal to cast on the ribbed stitches. So again, we hold the yarn this way with the fingers, and as is the first loop, we're going to use the thumb. So we pass the thumb under the yarn this way and insert the needle this way. Then we yarn over and pass this yarn through the loop we have created with our fingers. Now we're going to make the second loop, so I always keep the yarn here. I'm going to use the index, so I pass the index under the yarn this way. I place my thumb over the yarn and I insert the needle, and I close the index. As you can see, we have created a loop right here. So a yarn over, and we pass this yarn through the loop we have created with our fingers, and we pull a little in order to tighten them a little bit. Again, as time, I'm going to make the first loop, so I always keep the yarn here, and I'm going to use the thumb, so I pass the thumb like this under the yarn, and I insert the needle like this. Then yarn over, and we pass the yarn through the loop I have created with my fingers. And now the second loop, so I always keep the yarn here. This time I'm going to use the index. I pass the index like this up under the yarn, and I place my thumb over the yarn. I insert the needle here, and I close the index finger, then I yarn over and I pass the yarn through the loop I have created with my fingers. And this is the result. Again, I take the double part of the yarn, I keep it with the fingers here, and then I'm going to make the first loop. So I'm going to use the thumb and I pass the thumb like this under the yarn and insert the needle like this. Then I yarn over and pass the yarn through the loop I have created with my fingers. And the second loop, I keep holding the yarn, then I use the index finger, so I pass the index this way under the yarn, I place my thumb over the yarn, I insert the needle and I close my index, then I take the long part of the yarn over and pass the yarn through the loop I have created. I thank you for being with me. Thanks for watching my tutorial. Till next time, bye bye.